Good morning to all. So we are dealing with short story by Somerset Maugham, and very interesting story. I have already shared with you two outstanding videos in which uh, one person explains very well the story. Okay, so let us see now after Virgil Edward Albert Edward Foreman resigns from St. Peter Navy Square, and after his resignation, he was nervous. So he was in a way abstainer. Abstainer means not having any habit of smoking or chewing tobacco. But right now, at present, just in order to get away from the stress, he wants to smoke a cigarette. FAG, fag. In the story for cigarette, word is used fag. So he is looking for gold flag packet of cigarette. He wants to chew tobacco. But the problem is that in a street where he is looking for tobacco, if he could get, there are many shops in the street, in the long street, but he doesn't get tobacco. So means that there is no tobacco shop available in the street. And this matter struck in his mind. He thought entire night seriously about that matter. That in a long street I didn't get tobacco. That means that tobacco shop is not available there. A person like me, he wants a fellow like me wants tobacco or cigarette, what he would do? So he's thinking about this matter, and suddenly one idea occurs in his mind, and that idea is, what if I could begin a new shop? He thinks that what if I find out a particular place, a empty shop, I would purchase it, and then where I will begin my new business as a tobacconist. It will run because there is no such shop is available in entire street. So he thinks over it, and another day, early morning, he goes there again back to the street, and he finds out a small shop, little shop, suitable for him, and he takes it, purchases it, and starts there working as a tobacconist and as a new agent. This is his new venture, a new profession taken up by Virgin. And let us see what happens next, whether he is successful in it or again he has to face the failure. So we are in the story here. Okay, so from here we will discuss today. Albert Edward means the virgin of the church was a non-smoker. He usually does not smoke, and a total abstainer. Abstainer means totally away from such habits, but with a certain latitude. Latitude means sometime in a unpleasant condition of mind where he doesn't feel good. That is to say, he liked a glass of beer, sometime in that sort of condition as he is right now, depressed. He would like to get a glass of beer with his dinner, and he was tired. When he was tired, he enjoyed a cigarette. So this is to say about Varzo. Usually, he is not in habit of doing it, but rarely, sometimes he do it. What he does it. So glass of beer with dinner, and sometimes he doesn't feel fresh when he feels tired, so he wants cigarette. So it occurred to him now that one would comfort him. So for the feel the comfort, and since he did not carry them, he has not habit. So therefore, cigarette and tobacco is not available with him in his court. So he looked about him for a shop. So he has to now find out a shop from where he can get cigarette or tobacco, where he could buy a packet of gold flag cigarette. He did not at once see one means he did not find any such shop he is looking for, and walked on a little. आगे तरफ जाइए. A very crucial point in this story. He wants to just relax himself for a while. Therefore, he wants a cigarette to smoke. He finds out a shop, but he fails. He doesn't get any such shop. It was a long street with all sort of shops in it. The street was very long, and many other shops were available, except tobacco and cigarette. But there was no a single one where you could buy cigarette. Okay, all shops were there. Street was very long, but shop was not available. What sort of shop he is looking for? But cigarette and tobacco. That's strange, said Albert. So Illinois, if in a street like this, the tobacco, cigarette are not available. It's strange. And to make sure, he walked right up the street again to make it sure that is it true, it is fact. He doesn't believe it initially that how can it be possible that in a street like this, tobaccos are not available. So he goes back again to the street, and no, there was no doubt about it. And it was true that no was available for the tobacco and the cigarette. He stopped and looked reflectively up and down. Now he stops and now what to do? Cigarette, tobacco not available. He is totally uncomfortable, unaware about, and uncertain what he would do next. Says that I can't be the only man as walks along this street and wants a fag. Fag means cigarette. So am I alone? હું એક જ વ્યક્તિ છું જેને સિગારેટ કે તમાકુની જરૂર છે. There will be plenty such people who want tobacco and cigarette, he said. So I shouldn't wonder, but what a fellow might do very well with a little shop here. A fellow means person like me, if he wants, in an emergency, cigarette or tobacco, what he would do in such a case where shops are not available. So tobacco and sweets, you know, if you need those things, they should be available in the street. So he gave a sudden start that suddenly he starts going ahead because he had no option. Shops are not available. The research it again goes back to but they were not available. So what he does, that's an idea he said. Strange how things come to you when you least expect it. But but the availability of the tobacco and cigarette makes him in a thinking position and where he has a wonderful idea. What type of idea? He turned, walked home, and had his tea. Now he goes to his home and he has having his tea, and now he is thinking about that matter. You are very silent this afternoon, Michael. His wife, asks. You are very silent today. His wife remarked, and I'm thinking. What he said, replied that I'm thinking. He was deeply thinking about that incident. That it was a long street, there were many shops available, but there was not a single shop of tobacco and cigarette. He is thinking over this matter, and he considered the matter from every point of view. From every point of view, he thought of it that people would need a cigarette and tobacco. And next day, he went along the street. બીજે દિવસે પાછો ત્યાં જાય છે સ્ટ્રીટમાં and by good luck found a little shop. ત્યાં એક નાની સ્મોલ દુકાન એમને મળી જાય છે and glad that looked as though it would exactly suit him. અને એ દુકાન જે છે એમને suitable લાગે છે. Exactly suitable to him. તો એ શું કરે છે? 24 hours later he had taken it. 24 કલાકની અંદર એ દુકાનને ખરીદી લે છે. સ્ટ્રીટમાં એક નાની દુકાનને ખરીદી લે છે. હવે તે વર્જન નથી એને કંઈક પ્રોફેશન કંઈક નવું જોબ સ્ટાર્ટ કરવું પડે તેમ છે. એ દુકાન ખરીદી લે છે and when a month after that he has left St. Peter's Navy Square forever means હંમેશને માટે જ્યારે એમણે વર્જરનું પ્રોફેશન ચર્ચમાંથી એમણે છોડી દીધું નેવી સ્ક્વેરને છોડી દીધું એ પછી મહિના પછી આલ્બર્ટ એડવર્ડ ફોર્બિન set up in business as a tobacconist and news agent. Now please remember this is your question. After resigning from St. Peter Navy Square, what venture he went into? So that is he becomes tobacconist. He becomes news agent and starts his new venture. So now it is a new journey. And his wife said it was a grateful come down. He was a verger and now he is a simple tobacconist. His wife said that it is, it has brought you down. It is not suitable to you. So after being verger of St. Peter's, for 16 years, how could you can, embark a job like this? But he answered that you had to move with time. એના વાઈફને કન્સોલ કરે છે કઈ રીતે હવે ટાઈમ સાથે બધાને ચાલવું પડે એન્ડ ધ ચર્ચ વોઝન્ટ વોટ ઇટ વોઝ અને અત્યારે એટ પ્રેઝન્ટ ચર્ચ જે છે એવી નથી જે પાસ્ટમાં હતી એન્ડ હેન્સ ફોરવર્ડ he was going to render unto Caesar what was Caesar's. જે સીઝર હતું એ સીઝરને પાછો આપવો જાય છે એ કહેવત છે શેના ઉપરથી Caesar means a Roman emperor, Roman ruler. Ruler means king. In ancient time, in Rome, there was one emperor, ruler, and he was autocratic. He would not believe other people. He would take his own decisions. King. So for the Roman king, this word is used, Caesar. You have Shakespeare has written play Julius Caesar. So Caesar is used. Albert Edward did very well. તો ભાઈ સીઝરનું હતું એને આપી દીધું. Caesar is here used to refer to that regard. And Albert did very well. એટલે સીઝરનું જે હતું સીઝરને પાછું આપી દીધું છે. Now I have to move with the time. And I did it very well. And he did so well that in a year or so it struck him that he might take a second shot. તો એક વર્જનનું એમણે પ્રોફેશન છોડ્યું, જે એમની ચર્ચ હતી એમને છોડ્યું. ત્યાર પછી એક 24 કલાકની અંદર એક દુકાન ખરીદી લે છે, ટોબેકોનિસ્ટ બની જાય છે વિધિન 24 hours. પછી એક મહિનાની અંદર એ બીજી સેકન્ડ શોપ ખરીદી લે છે. અને એ સેકન્ડ શોપમાં શું કરે છે, મેનેજરને ગોઠવી દે છે. સોરી, વિધિન યર. પછી એક મહિનાની અંદર દુકાન ખોલી લે છે, સારી ચાલે છે. અને એક વર્ષની અંદર એ બીજી શોપ ખરીદી લે છે અને ત્યાં મેનેજર બેસાડી દે છે. વિધિન યર 3. એક વર્ષમાં હોય એ 2 દુકાનનો માલિક થઈ ગયો. પછી એક વર્ષ પછી he looked for another long street that had not got a tobacconist in it. હવે પાછી લંડનની અંદર એવી સ્ટ્રીટ શોધવા નીકળી જાય છે કે જ્યાં ટોબેકોનિસ્ટ ના હોય. And where he found it and a shop to let, took it and stock it. જ્યાં જ્યાં જે સ્ટ્રીટમાં એમને આવી દુકાન મળી ત્યાં ત્યાં એ દુકાન એમને ખરીદી લીધી અને તે મેનેજર બેસાડી દે અને પોતાનો માલ છે એ સ્ટોક કરી દે. And this was a success too. He did it successfully. Then it occurred to him that if he could run 2, he could run half a dozen. Dozen means more than 10, around 12. તો એને શું વિચાર આવે છે કે ભાઈ 2 શોપ્સ સારી રીતે હું ચલાવી શકતો હોવા, why not to start 10 more? બીજી 10 પણ આપણે સંભાળી શકીએ. So he began walking about London. લંડન સિટીમાં, એન્ટાયર સિટીમાં એ સ્ટ્રીટ માટે શોધવા નીકળી જાય છે. And whenever he found a long street that had not a tobacconist, જ્યાં જ્યાં એક સ્ટ્રીટ મળે છે જે tobacconist ના હોય, and a shop to let, he took it. બધી દુકાન એમને ખરીદી લીધી. And in the course of 10 years, 10 વર્ષની અંદર he had acquired, કેટલી દુકાન મેળવી લીધી? Less than 10 shops. No less than 10 means more than 10 within 10 years. 10 વર્ષની અંદર એક 10 દુકાનનો માલિક બની જાય છે અને he was making money hand over fist. Hand over fist means large amount of money every month he is earning now. He has become a very successful businessman. But mind you, he doesn't know reading and writing. See, but that his weakness doesn't become hurdle in this business. And see, he went around to all of them himself every Monday. Every Monday બધી દુકાનમાં જાય છે, વિઝિટ લેવા, મહિનાની ઇન્કમ જે છે બધી કલેક્ટ કરી, he would collect the big takings and took them to the bank. અને પછી બેંકમાં ડિપોઝિટ કરવા જશે every Monday. One morning, what happens one morning? One morning when he was there, क्या बैंक में, paying in a bundle of notes, and heavy bag of silver. હવે એના બેગમાં સિલ્વર છે, ઘણી બધી નોટ્સ છે, એ જમા કરવા જાય છે, ડિપોઝિટ કરવા. તો ત્યાંનો બેંકનો કેશિયર જે હોય ને, કેશિયર જે છે એને કહે છે, શું કહે છે, વર્જન told him that the manager would like to see him. મેનેજરને મળવું છે બેંકના મેનેજર. He was shown into an office. એમને ઓફિસ બતાવી, મેનેજરની ઓફિસ. ત્યાં જાઓ, મેનેજર સાથે તમને મળવું છે. And the manager shook hands with you. મેનેજરને મળે છે ઓફિસમાં. મેનેજર હાથ મિલાવે છે કોની સાથે? વર્જન સાથે. શું કહે છે વર્જનને કે મિસ્ટર ફોરમેન, I wanted to have a talk to you about the money you have got on deposit with us. તમે જેટલી રકમ તમારા ખાતામાં અહીંયા જમા કરી છે એ બાબતે મારે તમારી સાથે કંઈક ડિસ્કસ કરવું છે. Do you know exactly how much it is? અને જો પૂછે છે કે તમારા ખાતામાં બેંક એકાઉન્ટમાં કેટલી મની છે તમને ખ્યાલ છે? એક્ઝેક્ટલી કેટલું છે રકમ અમાઉન્ટ? Oh, within a pound or two, sir. કદાચ કદાચ એક પાઉન્ડ or two કદાચ હશે. I don't know how much. એને આઈડિયા પણ નથી કેટલી. રફ આઈડિયા શું કે છે આઈ ગોટ a bit rough. કદાચ એક જ બે પાઉન્ડ હશે. Apart from what you paid in this morning, મેનેજર કહે છે શું કહે છે કે અત્યારે તમે મોર્નિંગમાં જે ડિપોઝિટ રકમ કરી એ સિવાય ઇટ્સ અ લિટલ ઓવર 30,000 pounds. 30,000 pounds. Pound is the currency of England. You know it. So it is about London. Pound is equal to 94 rupees of India. It is around 94 rupees of Indian currency. So it is, you know, approximately if we convert this 30,000 pound into Indian currency, it is approximately about more than 20 lakhs rupees. More than 20 lakhs, 20,000. And it is, you know, about 30 years back. 20 વર્ષ પહેલા તો આ રકમ જે છે એટલી it was very huge, too much. આટલી રકમ મર્ચન્ટના ખાતામાં પડેલી છે. મેનેજરે એમને જણાવે છે you have 30,000 pounds. That's a very large sum to have on a deposit. And I should have thought you better to invest it. મેનેજર શું કહે છે કે આ રકમ છે ખૂબ મોટી છે. બેટર કે તમારે આને ઇન્વેસ્ટ કરવું જોઈએ શેર માર્કેટમાં. તો શું થશે કે શેર માર્કેટમાં તમને વધારે ઇન્ટરેસ્ટ રેટ મળશે. અહીંયા અમે તમને બેંકમાં આપીએ છીએ જે રેટ ઇન્ટરેસ્ટ રેટ એના કમ્પેરમાં તમને શેર માર્કેટમાં વધારે મળશે એવું સલાહ આપે છે બેંક મેનેજર તમને કરજો. So it wouldn't want to take no risk, sir. I wouldn't, sorry. વર્જન શું કહે છે કે સર હું કોઈ રિસ્ક લેવા માંગતો નથી. આઈ નો ઇટ્સ સેફ ઇન ધ બેંક. બેંક મને સેફ પ્લેસ લાગે છે મારી મનીને ડિપોઝિટ કરવા માટે. શું કહે છે કે આઈ ડોન્ટ વોન્ટ ટુ ટેક રિસ્ક. શેર માર્કેટ અમને રિસ્કી લાગે છે. તો મેનેજર શું કહે છે કે યુ નીડ નોટ હેવ ધ લિસ્ટ એન્ઝાઇટી. તમારે કોઈ જાતની ચિંતા કરવાની જરૂર નથી. એન્ઝાઇટી મીન્સ વરી. You need not to worry about this. Well, we will make you out a list of absolutely gilt-edged securities. બરાબર અમે તમારા માટે સિક્યુરિટી જવાબદારી છે અમે લઈશું. એબ્સોલ્યુટલી ગિલ્ટ આપણે જોયું ગોલ્ડ કોટિંગ. એજ મીન્સ બાઉન્ડ્રી ઓફ સમથિંગ. એટલે કે ગિલ્ટ એજ ચારે તરફથી ગોલ્ડન બાઉન્ડ્રી હોય એના અર્થમાં એ વિશેષણ વપરાયું છે. Means we will provide you such a security that your information will not be leaked. They will bring you in a better rate of interest than we can possibly afford to you. શું કહે છે કે અમે શેર માર્કેટમાં વધારે રેટ મળશે જેનાથી વધારે અમે હાલમાં તમને આપીએ છીએ એના કરતાં. અને સિક્યુરિટીની જવાબદારી અમારી. A troubled look settled on Mr. Fornes. Distinguished means now he is very successful person, so distinguished, very प्रतिष्ठित now his position as a successful businessman. એના ચહેરા ઉપર થોડું ટ્રબલ જેવું આવી જાય છે. and I never had anything to do with stocks and shares. કહે છે મેનેજરને વર્જર કે આ stock and share marketing, I don't have any idea of this. In the past, I have no experience of this. I have never engaged or dealt with this. And I have to leave it all in your hands. તો શું કહે છે બધી જવાબદારી મારે તમને સોંપવી પડશે, તમારા હાથમાં આપવી પડશે. મને કોઈ આ બાબતે કોઈ શેર માર્કેટિંગ સ્ટોકમાં મને કોઈ આઈડિયા છે નહીં. મેનેજર શું કહે છે કે ધ મેનેજર્સ માઇન્ડ યુ વિલ ડુ એવરીથિંગ. Manager say we will do everything and you will have to do next time you come here is just to sign the transfers. અમે તમારા માટે બધું જ કરી આપશો. તમે નેક્સ્ટ ટાઈમ જ્યારે આવો ત્યારે તમારે ખાલી શું કરવાનું છે, ખાલી તમારે સાઇન જ કરવાનું. ટ્રાન્સફર પેપર જે કાંઈ અમે તૈયાર કરીએ બરાબર ડોક્યુમેન્ટમાં પેપરમાં તમારે માત્ર સાઇન કરવાની છે, બાકી બધું અરેન્જમેન્ટ ડોક્યુમેન્ટેશન અમે કરી આપશું. કોણ કહે છે મેનેજર, કોને કહે છે વર્જર. આઈ કુડ ડુ દેટ ઓલ રાઈટ. વર્જર કહે છે હા સાઇન તો હું કરી આપું, આઈ નો માય રાઇટિંગ માય નેમ, said Albert uncertainly. પછી શું કહે છે, but how should I know what I was signing? શું કહે છે કે ભાઈ હું સાઇન તો તમે કરી દો જે પેપર તમે મને આપો, આ પણ મને ખબર કઈ રીતે પડે કે પેપરમાં મેટર શું છે, પેપર કઈ બાબતનું છે એ મને કેમ ખબર પડે. I suppose you can read, said the manager in a trifle sharply. તો મેનેજર છે ન પૂછવા જેવો સવાલ પૂછે છે કે ભાઈ કદાચ you can read, તમે વાંચી તો શકો એના પરથી તમને ખ્યાલ આવી જાય કે મેટર શું છે પેપરમાં, પછી તમે સાઇન કરજો. પછી વર્જર જવાબ આપે છે કે મિસ્ટર ફોર્બેન ગેમ હિમ અ ડિસાર્મિંગ સ્માઇલ. એટલે કે કોઈ ની વાત સાથે સહમત થઈ અગ્રી થતા હોય એવી જેન્ટલ સ્માઇલ આપે છે ડિસાર્મિંગ. અને પછી શું કહે છે, વેલ સર ધેટ્સ જસ્ટ ઇટ. શું કહે છે કે તમે કહો છો હું સાઇન કરી આપું, તમે કહો છો ડોક્યુમેન્ટ વાંચી લો, તમારી બધી વાત સાચી, બટ ધેટ ઇઝ ધ મેટર. આઈ કાન્ટ. શું આઈ કાન્ટ રીડ. આઈ નો ઇટ સાઉન્ડ્સ ફની લાઈક. મને ખ્યાલ છે કે થોડુંક ફની ટાઈપ લાગશે તમને સાંભળીને કે મને લખતા વાંચતા નથી આવડતું, બટ ધેટ ઇઝ ઇટ. So there it is. I can't read or write, only me name, and I only learned to do what that when I went into business. મને એટ પ્રેઝન્ટ ખાલી મારું નામ જ લખતા આવડે છે. જ્યારે હું બિઝનેસમાં એન્ટર થયો ત્યારે હું એટલું શીખ્યો, ઓનલી ટુ રાઇટ માય નેમ. એના સિવાય વધારે બીજું કંઈ મને આવડતું નથી. The manager was surprised, so surprised that he jumped up. એના ચેરમાંથી ઊભો થઈ જાય છે આ સાંભળીને, એકદમ he was shocked that he had to jump up from his in a chair. That's the most extraordinary thing I ever heard. મેનેજર શું કહે છે, આ તો બહુ અસામાન્ય વાત કહેવાય, આજ સુધી મેં આવો કોઈ પ્રસંગ સાંભળ્યો નથી. આઈ નેવર come across incident like this. You see, it's like this. It is like શું કહે છે, I never had the opportunity until it was too late. And then somehow I wouldn't. I got obstinate, like obstinate means something which cannot be changed, something inflexible. So I am not inflexible. I cannot change. And I cannot learn why. I had opportunity, I did not know, and now I can't. So I don't know reading and writing, that's the matter. Manager stared at him as though he were a prehistoric monster. કઈ રીતે મેનેજરે સાંભળીની સામે જુએ છે કે જાણે આમ પેલા જમાનાનું કોઈ મોન્સ્ટર, એવી ક્રીચર એની સામે આવીને બેઠું હોય, અજુકતું કંઈ, મોર સમથિંગ અધર દેન હ્યુમન બીંગ. Imagine thinking that he is the owner of the 10 shops, huge amount of money, a successful rich person, and he doesn't know reading and writing. How it could have happened? So easy. And do you mean to say that you have built up this important business and amassed a fortune of 30,000 pounds without being able to read or write? તો કે છે તમને લખતા વાંચતા નથી આવડતું, છતાં તમે આટલું મોટું બિઝનેસ સેટઅપ કર્યો, તમારા બેંક એકાઉન્ટમાં 30,000 તમે ભેગા કરી શક્યા. ઇટ ઇઝ ટોટલી અનબિલીવેબલ. Good God, man, શું કહે છે, it is fine. What will you be now if you had been able to? This is the end of the story, and this is very interesting question asked by manager to Richard. શું ક્વેશ્ચન છે? ઓકે ફાઇન. તમને તમારા સૌથી આવડતું છતાં તમે આટલા રીચ બની શક્યા. You could collect 30,000 pounds. You could be a successful businessman. But tell me, જો તમને લખતા વાંચતા આવડતું હોત તો તમે શું હોત? Very interesting question. I repeat. એને જે શું પૂછે છે જો તમને લખતા વાંચતા આવડતું હોત તો તમે કઈ પોઝિશન ઉપર હોત શું જવાબ આપે છે એન્ડમાં વચ્ચે I can tell you that, sir, said Mr. Foreman, a little smile on his still aristocratic features. Aristocratic, now he is a rich person. And that sort of personality he answers, I had been verger of St. Peter's Naval Square. તો કદાચ કે હું શું હોત સેન્ટ પીટર્સ નેવલ સ્ક્વેરમાં વર્જર હોત કાંઈ લગતા વાંચતા આવડતું હોય તો પછી ઓલા વિકરને કોઈ પ્રોબ્લેમ નહોતો તો ત્યાં એઝ અ વર્જર એ કામ કરતો હોય તો એને લગતા વાંચતા નહોતું આવડતું he had to resign. He was pressurized, forced by the vicar. He had resigned. He resigned, therefore he started this new business and it went into success. Now he is a successful businessman, rich. This is how it happened. Or જો એમને લગતા વાંચતા આવડતું હોય તો વિકાર would not have brought any uh, situation like this before Virgil. So sometimes destiny, fate plays very important role in our life. Sometimes you fail, maybe something most extraordinary, something good is waiting for you. And though if nobody is perfect in this world, nobody is perfect. We may have our own weaknesses, but that should not become our hurdle. Look at here, Roger doesn't know reading and writing, but it doesn't become his hurdle, obstacle in his career. Even at the very old age, he faced failure, like he felt even humiliation, that he was thrown out of the church. But then too, he managed his emotion, and he could also manage the business he started. Only strong point was about Berger is that he had very strong willpower in him. Willpower. If you have seen the Hollywood movie Batman, I don't exactly recollect if it's Batman 1 or 2. There is a beautiful dialogue in this movie. Training is nothing, will is everything. I repeat, training is nothing, will is everything. This story is about that willpower. This is about assertive skill. This is about to focus only on what is positive. You can see if you have to characterize, critically examine the story, what you can learn from the story is that the Verger have never thought upon his negatives. He always thought of what is possible, what is possible, what is possible. This is his willpower. He was a very calm, conscious man. And he would never let his weakness of not knowing reading and writing to come into his life, his career. See, he became a billionaire at the end of the story. This is what Somerset Maugham is to tell us that if you train yourself well, if you get education, you get degrees, you get knowledge, but they are not useful unless you have willpower. Apart from degrees and education and skill, what is needed is willpower. If you don't have willpower, everything is then useless. Therefore, there is a saying in English language that you don't stand on your legs, you stand on your willpower. This is the message of the story. Friends, very interesting story, Verger by Somerset Maugham. We enjoyed it very well. Here we end the story. story is complete here. Next, in the next class, we will discuss questions and some other aspects regarding the story. Up to now, what we have done is we have studied the story word to word. Now we will examine the story from a character's point of view, from a theme point of view. We will look at the other important aspects of the story. And then we will discuss short and long questions, respective questions. As far as the material, important words and questions are concerned, it is available in the Google Classroom. I hope you all have got it. Start reading. Now what you will do is read this story word to word twice, underline with all important word and have a meaning, understand meaning of all important words. The next when we will meet, you should be confident enough to answer all the questions. I will ask questions relating to the word, relating to the characters, relating to the places mentioned in the story. So go through everything in the story minutely, study it, okay, and also go through all important words listed in that particular uh, material which I uploaded in the Google Classroom. Or if you have any question, you can ask. So here we end our today's session. Thank you. Have a nice day. Now you can type your roll number in the chat box.